On the news, DSS warns clerics against making inciting comments. President Buhari urges media to be sensitive to Nigeria's situation. And power crisis looms as in Egmi power plant as host communities lament darkness. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Oni Adekunle. The Department of State Services, DSS, has alleged that religious and political leaders who have either called for forceful change of government or mass action are collaborating with external forces seeking to plunge Nigeria into crisis. Spokesperson of DSS, Peter Afunaya, accused some clerics and prominent leaders of making divisive comments and warns that the state or the service will no longer tolerate deliberate plots by subversive and hostile groups whose agenda is to throw the government and country into anarchy so as to serve the interests of their sponsors. The warning comes a few days after the spiritual director of Adoration Ministry, Ejike Mbaka, called on the National Assembly to impeach President Muhammadu Buhari if he fails to resign over rising insecurity in the country. The DSS had in the past invited some prominent Nigerians, including the former director or deputy governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Obadiah Melafia, over their comments against the government. Afunaya said that DSS would not allow some individuals to break up the country through their unsavory statements. And President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the media to be sensitive to the prevailing situation in the country and avoid applying its freedom to highlighting contents that can worsen its fragile mood. President Buhari said this in his goodwill message to mark this year's World Press Freedom Day. He said while the media continues to carry out its traditional duties, it must give room to comments and feelings that are intended, or it must not rather give room to comments and feelings that are intended to hurt the nation's unity. According to a statement issued by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President noted that freedom of press is an irreducible minimum in a democracy that would flourish, adding that freedom must, however, be used responsibly. The President admonished the media to be sensitive to what the nation is going through and should not do anything that would worsen the situation and further inflame passions and emotions. And human rights is key to industrial harmony. Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, Tony Ojukwu, said this in a statement released to mark the 2021 International Workers' Day. In the statement signed by Fatima Agwai Mohammed, the Deputy Director of Public Affairs of the Commission, Ojukwu reiterated that the Commission's commitment to ensure that human rights principles are mainstreamed into labor practices in various workplaces and amongst labor unions across Nigeria. The Commission said mainstreaming human rights in the operations of ministries, departments and agencies, as well as in the private sector, holds the key to job satisfaction and increased productivity. Ojukwu also called on Nigerian workers, both in the public and private sector, not to abandon their own responsibility of delivering quality and efficient services to justify the trust and confidence reposed in them by their employers. Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU has reiterated his commitment to guarantee the total welfare of workers in Lagos State. SANWO-OLU made this known at the commemoration of this year's International Workers' Day held at the Mobolaji Johnson Stadium, Onikon, Lagos, over the weekend. Our correspondent Folashade Ogunridi now reports.
As part of efforts to mark this year's International Workers' Day, the Lagos State Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU says his administration will do everything possible to make life easier for its workers. SANWO-OLU praised the Lagos chapters of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) for their dedication and cooperation with the Lagos State government. Said his administration remains committed to listen to the request of workers will form an integral part of the Lagos State agenda.
Part of our responsibility as a government is to ensure that we continue to make life better for our citizens and for our workers in Lagos State. And so, in the last 1 year, although we had a reduced budget, although we had a reduced revenue, although we had a reduced expectation, but we did not reduce our people's salary. We did not cut our workers' salary. We did not stop all of the emolument and entitlement of all our pensioners and our core workers all throughout this period. We'll continue to ensure that the sustenance, the welfare of our workers is germane to us and continue to remain a frontline charge expense on our revenue profile.
The chairman of the Lagos State chapter of the Trade Union Congress, Benga Ekundayo, while charging the Lagos State government to do more in the private sector, commended the governor for the establishment of the Workers' Village.
We must commend you most profoundly for the approval given to the organized labor for the establishment of what will be known as Workers' Village. This housing scheme is now the talk of the town amongst workers, and I know they can't wait to hear about it from you. This housing scheme will, to a large extent, help to reduce the housing deficit in the state, and will also assist workers to have a place they can call a home.
Speaking on behalf of the Lagos State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress, the state chairman, Fumilayo Sisi, said occupational safety and health is paramount to all workers.
There is no better day to demonstrate our readiness to fight for the living than today. We will fight for the living by highlighting the preventable nature of most workplaces incidents and ill health, and to promote campaigns and union organizations in the fight for improvement in occupational safety and health in our different workplaces. And we thank our governor for putting safety commission in place, and they are always very critical of occupational safety to ensure the safety of life at workplaces. Last year, the Lagos State government marked the May 1st International Workers' Day on a low-key due to ravaging COVID-19 pandemic. Folashade Ogrinde, TV360 News.
And in the nation's capital, Abuja, President Muhammadu Buhari has offered to work collaboratively with Nigerian workers towards ensuring decency of job at the workplace. The president made this commitment on the occasion of the International Workers' Day celebration. Abisola Adebayo has the details.
2021 Workers' Day in Abuja. This event in time past is usually a cordial one between government and labor, as both parties celebrate together in an atmosphere of mutual friendship and understanding. Today, the situation is different. Workers and government are on each other's throats as labor consistently fight for better wages, and government is trying this demand within its limited resources. The workers did not fail to hammer on their salary at this event once again.
We cannot afford to liberate Nigerians from the stronghold of British colonialists, only for Nigerian colonialists to recolonize Nigerian workers. Quality wages have also been an issue in the face of the rising cost of living, but more importantly and especially the payment of the national minimum wage. The 30,000 certainly is not enough because the economic challenges posed by COVID-19 have actually eroded the benefit of the 30,000 minimum wage. A few states are yet to begin the implementation of the new national minimum wage. We have already asked those affected state councils to proceed on a statewide industrial action. Some states are yet to conclude negotiation, and we direct through this medium and through this May Day to say that those actions must be taken to the letter.
We also call on government to give priority to ensuring availability of raw materials, supply of foreign exchange at official rates to manufacturing concerns, and reduction of multiple and high taxations on industry, especially companies that produce non-alcohol beverages, which contribute about 4% to our national GDP. To cushion the effect of ban and restriction to access of many raw materials, government should strengthen backward integration and value adding in agri and raw materials development. We call for the full autonomy of judiciary and legislative arm of government, especially at state. We also call for us in move to scrap local government in Nigeria. Nigerian workers will resist any attempt to derail developmental at the grassroots level.
President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, says government recognizes the place of decent job as a major driver for fair labour practices and inclusive economic growth. but calls for an end to all seeming irreconcilable difference with the labor movement.
In consideration of this fact, we intend to look at the relevant conventions of the ILO, as mentioned before, and also through the newly inaugurated National Labour Advisory Council, NLAC, to expect and ratify what we can adapt to our national practice and environment, so that Convention 102 on social security will have been achieved in Nigeria.
This year's May Day celebration with the theme COVID-19 pandemic, social and economic crisis, challenges for decent job and people's welfare, seeks to appraise the resilience and the resourcefulness of Nigerian workers in the face of the ravaging global pandemic. Abisola Adebayo, TV360, Abuja.
And trouble may be brewing in Nigeria's power sector as the country's biggest power plant, EGBIN, may soon be shut down by the host communities. They are accusing EGBIN Power PLC of deliberately keeping them in darkness and also failing in its corporate social responsibility to the host communities. Mary Kanu was at the meeting and files in this report.
Ijade, EGBIN, and Ikpakon. These are the three communities in Ikorodu division that host EGBIN Power PLC, the largest power generating station in Nigeria with an installed capacity of 1,320 megawatts and consisting of 6 units of 220 megawatts each. The gas-fired plant, which was commissioned in 1986, has been supplying power to the national grid, but for the host communities, it is a tale of darkness and neglect. The three communities say they are organizing this media briefing to make the world aware of their plight.
I've decided to go to different locations to purchase land, but when I heard about Ijede that there is continuous light here, so I came to buy land. But when I got to the community, what I heard from them from a far distance was changed differently. I could see that there is no, light. Most of the time, in 24 hours, we hardly have light for 2 hours. Even the 2-3 hours that we have, it is off and on.
They can use 2-3 days for not giving us light at all. But well, I know God will be on our side. He's still on our side. We are the host community. We don't enjoy anything. Maybe you heard when our coordinator read the speech that they gave us an opportunity of cleaner, security. So many of our children, they are educated. They are graduates. They were not given job.
Reeling out their unpleasant experiences, which include overbilling, lack of prepaid meters, illegal estimated billing, and so on, the residents say they are running out of patience and government should wade into the situation before it generates into crisis.
Sincerely, we want to pay, and we've been paying. Even when we are not supposed to be paying, we are paying. When it was EGBA, NEPA, and PHCN, like I said, yes, we are the host community. We are the one that lost that land. Imagine if the land is we have that land as we are talking about, as we are talking now. Imagine the kind of development that might have come into this community. So like you just asked me now, I don't know, but it's a bit we find ourselves in this precarious situation because talking of EGBIN, because I lost in the question you asked though. I just want to cover the whole story. They should please listen to our plea. We want them to be forthcoming in the social responsibility. What we need more, that's why they said they should be forthcoming. We want more, that to reflect that will affect the whole community, not just some section of people. So we need more. They've not even touched about road. They've not even done anything about road.
The story of Ijede, EGBIN, and Ikpakon may sound strange, but in truth, this is a tale of the goose that laid a golden egg but never benefits from it. Mary Kanu, TV360, Lagos.
Well, let's take a break here, but still to come. 3 Standard Organization of Nigeria laboratories get international accreditation. We'll bring you details of that and more shortly. Glad to have you back. Now to a quick recap of some of our top stories tonight. The Department of State Services, DSS, has alleged that religious and political leaders who have either called for forceful change of government or mass action are collaborating with external forces seeking to plunge Nigeria into crisis. And we also told you that President Muhammadu Buhari has offered to work collaboratively with Nigerian workers towards ensuring decency of job at the workplace. The president made this commitment on the occasion of the International Workers' Day celebration in Abuja. And in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on all our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Nigeria has recorded 14 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total caseload of infections in the country to 165,167. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, the new infections were recorded from 7 states. Osun, Ogun, and Kaduna recorded 3 cases each, followed by Akwa Ibom, Abia, FCT, and Kwara with 1 case each. The NCDC, on its official Twitter handle on Sunday, revealed that no new death was also recorded, leaving the death tally at 2,063. So far, 155,361 cases have been discharged in 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has approved the use of PFIZER COVID-19 vaccine in Nigeria. NAFDAC's approval is coming a few months after it gave a nod for the use of Oxford-AstraZeneca jabs. Announcing this at a press conference in Lagos, the Director General of NAFDAC, Mojisola Adeyeye, said the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine was for emergency use only, adding that the vaccine can now be stored between -15 to -25 degrees, equivalent to freezer temperature. Earlier in March, Nigeria received 3.9 million doses of the Oxford-AstraZeneca jabs, with which it flagged off its vaccination exercise. We'll take another break here and return with business updates. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We head now for business news with Abisola Adebayo, who's standing by. Abisola, over to you.
Thank you very much, Oyi. Welcome to Business News. The Standards Organization of Nigeria has announced plans to bolster the nation's manufacturing industry with its newly accredited laboratories. The agency also targets an increased level of export of locally made goods to the international market. TV360 Simisola Adigun has the details.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria Laboratories is now among the very few accredited laboratories in the world. With accredited laboratories, it means that Nigeria now has the same standards as other advanced countries worldwide. The Director General, Standards Organization of Nigeria, Farouk Salim, disclosed this at the unveiling of its 3 accredited laboratories in Lagos. He said the accredited labs would encourage manufacturers to produce more, saying that products certified and tested in the labs would receive global acceptance.
Most of our manufacturers, you heard them saying that they are rejected even by our local companies because their products are not certified. They don't have lab certificates saying they are up to standard. So now that excuse is out of the way. Also, because of this export potential for our industries, now with the certification, it's easy for them to export everywhere in the world, because an accredited lab means anywhere in the world, whatever we say is good, is good.
Also speaking at the event, the organization's director, Laboratory Services, Mojisola Kehinde, explained that the certification had become imperative since the current realities at the global market had made it necessary for locally produced goods to have SANS test results to enhance their global competitiveness.
Accreditation also declares our technical competence in the areas of the highlighted scopes. Thus, in turn, reassures our customers that some testing laboratories have the discipline and system to produce consistently valid results.
Deputy Director, Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi, Adepukola Huthman, explained that getting an accreditation was not an easy feat, especially in a country like Nigeria. She said that with the accredited labs, Nigeria is now at the same level with Western countries in terms of standardization.
When Standard Organization of Nigeria sets standards, everybody will have confidence in what we are doing, because there are very few accredited laboratories in the world.
Head of Planning, Research and Statistics, Institute of Public Analysts of Nigeria, IPAN, Emmanuel Odega, said to have 3 labs accredited at the same time is not an easy achievement, saying that SUN and IPAN have come a very long way, especially in preparation of standards.
That is a boost to the economy. That is a boost to Nigeria. That is a boost to improve our income, foreign earnings.
With the accredited laboratories, Nigerian products will be accepted anywhere in the world, while also increasing the level of confidence of both local and foreign consumers of made-in-Nigeria goods. Simisola Digon, TV360 News.
The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, has revealed a joint project between the federal government and Microsoft for the development of high-speed internet infrastructure across the 6 regions in the country. Media aide to the presidency, Tolu Ogunlesi, made the disclosure on Monday, revealing 6 regions in Nigeria have been earmarked for the development of high-speed internet infrastructure. This development comes as the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, in a report showed there was a 22.38% increase in the number of internet subscribers in Nigeria, from 126.1 million as of the 4th quarter of 2019 to 154.3 million in the 4th quarter of 2020. That's all on business news. It's back to Oyin for the rest of the news.
Well, thank you very much for that update, Abisola. We'll move now to the foreign scene, where Chad's military rulers have named a new government after the battlefield death of President Idris Deby. The opposition called for a transitional government led by a civilian president with a military vice president, but the majority of ministers in the new government held positions under the late Deby. His son is president, while his ally, Albert Badake, was named prime minister last week. Leading opposition figures have rejected the appointments as a continuation of an old order they hoped to erase. Thousands took to the streets last week in protest against the military rule, where at least 6 persons died in clashes with policemen. Well, it's now time for entertainment reports on News Now.
Nigerian singer and award winner CHIDINMA, also known as Miss KDK, announced her rebrand as a gospel artist. The announcement comes with the celebration of her 30th birthday anniversary. In 2010, CHIDINMA rose prominent after she won the Project Fame West Africa as a 19-year-old. Afterwards, she released her debut single, Jankoliko, featuring veteran star Sound Sultan. Currently, CHIDINMA is signed to Easy Concepts. Nollywood actor ALEXX has proposed to his longtime girlfriend Fancy Acholonu. Fancy and ALEXX made the announcement via their Instagram pages, and they got engaged in Los Angeles, United States of America. Nollywood filmmaker Chinelo Love Ace has debuted the first teaser of her latest production, Devil in Agbada, starring BB Naija reality star Erica alongside Linda Osifo and Efe Rele. The Manu Elijah directed film will premiere in cinemas on July 2nd and also stars Desmond Elliott, Uzuarukwe, ALEXX EKUBO, and NUSAREX. And that is all that we have for you in the entertainment segment of News Now.
In sports, Victor Osimhen continued his impressive form for Napoli, netting in the Blues' 1-1 home draw against Cagliari at the Diego Maradona Stadium on Sunday. Osimhen opened scoring for Napoli in the 13th minute, and the Nigerian international has now scored 8 goals and recorded 1 assist in 26 league appearances for Gattuso's side this season. Napoli occupy 4th position on the table with 67 points from 34 games. But that's the latest update on News Now at this time. Thank you for watching. I am Oyi Adekunle.